One day when I was with my mother in hospice, I guess I thought she was sleeping because I must have been rubbing my mouth and probably making faces, and my mother asked if my teeth were okay. Yes, I have these invisible braces, I said. I know, it's silly at my age, worrying about straight teeth. My mother was a rather no-nonsense Yankee, and braces for my wonky teeth had never been discussed when I was growing up. Well, she said, if you don't worry about it now, you might never get another chance. A couple of weeks later, she was gone. I'm not sure anything my mother had said in my 60 years with her ever made more impact. If you don't worry about it now, you might not get another chance. Yes, my mother was a stoic. My teeth are pretty straight now, and it's New Year's, and I've spent a good part of this year urging you to start eating more whole foods and limiting meat, dairy, and eggs. And if you've been ignoring me, ready or not, here I come. Hello, Veg Heads. You're listening to Veg Your Best, the plant-based podcast. My name is Michelle Olander. I'm a certified life coach, a practicing vegan, and I'm here to try and convince you every week to show up, eat more plants, and not wait a single second longer to set an impossible goal, whatever that is for you. Episode 17, where I ask you, what's it time to worry a little about right now? You know, one of the problems with being a life coach and an active member of the, quote, self-help community is I'm always reading the Stoic philosophers, and frequently I don't know where exactly my ideas come from, whether I'm quoting someone or paraphrasing, or whether super infrequently I've had an original idea. So I'm always reading and listening and studying and working. So I was running this idea for this podcast by a colleague about readiness. Readiness is all. I know that from Hamlet. And then that quote gets kind of archaic, at least for a plant-based podcast. And so I had another scribbled note in my journal about readiness. And I was trying to decipher my handwriting. And I was talking out loud to my friend, and I said, I wonder if that's Seneca or Epictetus or Marcus Aurelius. And my brilliant friend interrupts with Hugh Laurie. Hugh Laurie? The actor? Yes. From House? Yes. Bertie Wooster and Bertie and Jeeves on British TV with Stephen Fry? The very same. So here is the quote in question from the actor Hugh Laurie. Quote, "It's a terrible thing, I think, in life to wait until you're ready. I have this feeling now that actually no one is ever ready to do anything. There's almost no such thing as ready. There is only now, and you may as well do it now. Generally speaking, now is as good a time as any." Unquote. From Hugh Laurie. Maybe a Stoic. Not sure. But that is as good advice as I have heard lately. If you have lost people you love, or watched them sicken or fail, you know that it doesn't happen typically when it's convenient or when you're ready to deal with it. And if you've ever been sick or injured, you know that it happens when it happens and resolves when it does, on a schedule that has nothing to do with the calendar or your psychological readiness to cope. If you or someone in your family or community has, well, like our cousin's wife, Robin, who's a respiratory therapist, someone who's spent the past 9 months caring for COVID patients every day, you know pandemics don't fit into your work-life balance plans or your career priorities. Wait, Michelle, It's New Year's. Where's my upbeat message? Well, most of us have done things this year that we would have said were impossible. Even if you've been as lucky and unscathed as I have been this year, you probably lived in a way you could not have imagined. And if you were an essential worker or health provider, or a homeschooling parent, or a mom scared of delivering her baby in hospital without her husband allowed in with her, or a business owner who couldn't keep going, or a furloughed worker, or a travel industry professional, or any of millions of other people this year, you probably did the impossible at least a couple times. So my thought for you is that instead of simply being grateful that you got through it and that 2020's over, you remember that this year showed you that you can do so much, whether you're ready or not. That we all can do so much more than we can even imagine. This pandemic was particularly deadly for our loved ones with what some call comorbidities, underlying health problems. But let's remember that comorbidities are not just a few fringe expendable people who are already living on borrowed time. Comorbidities are frequent in our population, certainly in the U.S., where tens of millions of people have heart disease, high blood pressure, asthma, diabetes, lowered immune function, and other chronic conditions. And many more don't even know they are suffering from those conditions or are not receiving treatment for them. You know, it's never not the right time to invest in your health and immune system, and there are few ways of investing in your health simpler or more effective than moving towards a whole food, plant-based diet. If you or your doctor have thought that limiting meat, eggs, and dairy and increasing your consumption of whole grains, greens, beans, fruits, vegetables, mushrooms, and seeds could make a significant impact on your health, there has never been more reason than now. And if you think that you're not ready, or this isn't the time, or it's too hard, please think again. It doesn't have to be hard. It could be just a matter of starting, ready or not. Well-being is attained little by little, and nevertheless, well-being is no little thing. That's Zeno. Please consider investing in your well-being, your health, little by little this new year, for you and for the people who love you and count on you. I can point you to a lot of great resources if you email me, and we are always improving the MichelleOlanderCoaching.com website with that sort of information. But the most important thing to me is that if you think this is not the time, or that you aren't ready to start up-leveling your nutrition, or that you think you can't commit or succeed at it, that you just borrow my belief this year. You can make important, lasting changes in your health without being able to imagine exactly how you're going to do it. You just start. Let me repeat actor Hugh Laurie's fantastic quote from earlier. It's a terrible thing, I think, in life to wait until you're ready. I have this feeling now that actually no one is ever ready to do anything. There is almost no such thing as ready. There is only now, and you may as well do it now. Generally speaking, now is as good a time as any. Hugh Laurie. So, ready or not, either way, that's what I'm here for. Every week here on this podcast or in my Facebook videos or my Instagram posts, I am here to cheer you on, to tell you that I know you can do this. You can make a massive change in your life meal by meal, ingredient by ingredient. And if you want a little extra hand-holding, we can 10x the process. My clients work with me with weekly phone or Zoom meetings and updates throughout the week, worksheets, plans, strategies. But the how? Well, first comes the why. Reasons come first, answers come second. So if your brain is telling you that you're not ready to change the way you eat right now, and you're not listening to me and my belief in you right now, let me unleash some Seneca on you. Putting things off is the biggest waste of life. It snatches away each day as it comes and denies us the present by promising the future. The greatest obstacle to living is later, which hangs upon tomorrow and loses today. You are arranging what lies in fortune's control and abandoning what lies in yours. The whole future lies in uncertainty. Live immediately. That's Seneca from On the Shortness of Life. Or, in the words of my Stoic mother, if you don't worry about it now, you might not get another chance. Even if I don't make you all plant-based in 2021, I hope that I at least lead you to the Stoics. If you would like to discuss your goals, whether plant-based or Stoic, go to www.michelleolendercoaching.com and you can make an appointment. There's a button there that takes you to my calendar. The consultations are free, and we can talk just about you and how to get started, especially if you're not sure that you're ready. Vedge Your Best podcast production, music, and editing by Charlie Weinshank. Thanks, Charlie. Before you go, it would mean so much to me and the Vedge Your Best team if you would hit subscribe, leave us a 5-star review, or share with someone you think might be interested. Something about algorithms, it helps bump us up a little in the rankings, and that's the best way to help others find the podcast and for us to find our audience. So, until next week, make it easy and veg your best.